that pump you up, John? Do you feel like you want to jump off a bridge or something?
Oh yeah, I'm ready to run through a wall.
That's the whole point of that thing, is just to get you excited.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, it's the only reason for it. No other reason whatsoever. Just to get you hyped up.
Of course, right as we start this, my dog's like clawing to get outside, so I'm gonna let Crosley out really quick.
Oh, we get a dog sighting. Look at that.
Yeah, it's raining, so he probably won't be out long. What are you doing, buddy? You want to come back in? He's just playing games, I guess. I already fed him. I don't know what he's trying to get done here.
That sounds just like my dog. She's like, okay, I want to go outside. And then a second later, nope. Change my mind. Come back in. So
I've also got my son with me. It's just me and my son. So if he goes crazy or something, I'll have to run over and grab him. But right now he's watching Blippi, so I think he's content.
Babysitting, dog sitting, man. You're a busy man.
Yeah. I don't know if it's considered babysitting if it's your own kids though.
Oh, okay. I don't have
just
kids,
being a dad.
I wouldn't know. So being a dad sounds about right to me.
Did you hit any sales today? What'd you do today?
I hit some sales. I drove like 40 minutes for a community sale. There was 2 houses, which is really not a community sale. But
wow, yeah, that's disappointing.
2 houses, and then I drove another 30 minutes to another community sale that was pretty decent, but nice. nothing crazy. How about you?
I mean, it's almost November now, so the fact that there's any sales at all to go to is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I had like 24 on my Route Me app today. So,
wow,
including 2 community sales. So there's a lot to hit, but just.
Do you guys typically get sales this late in the year, or is it just because the weather's been warmer?
Usually, like Halloween's the last weekend, and then we're done.
Okay.
I feel like you guys are probably the same, right? It's just similar climates.
Usually, like late September, it kind of dies. It just all depends on the weather. Like the weather's been super warm this month, so everybody's still having sales.
That makes sense. For me, I'm from Ukraine, so anything above 30 is super warm. So I could have sales all year round. All right, so John, if people don't know who you are, you want to tell them?
Yeah, I've got a YouTube channel called Cincinnati Picker, where I just go out to garage sales and find stuff. My wife says they're terrible videos and you shouldn't watch them. So don't listen to her. We did Tommy's show a few weeks ago, and she was just absolutely roasted me in the chat.
Yeah, I feel like when Yaka roasted you on Tommy's show, this is like something she wanted to do her whole life.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Live vicariously through him for a couple hours.
Yeah, Tommy says he came from my internet. I don't know what's going on with it, man. We were watching back some of the show where I ate that gummy bear, and my picture was just so fuzzy. I don't know if it's because we were in the basement, far from the router, but hopefully it's a little bit clearer now because I'm only 20 feet from my router.
It looks pretty good right now. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I feel like we're good. You say hello to everybody here, guys. I'm going to have time to say hi to each and one of you, but thank you guys all for being here. If you guys have some questions for John, write them down, and if it's a good question, I'll point it out. If not, I'll just skip it. That's how we'll do it.
I like your honesty.
For pretty much. I did a little research on you today, so I watched some of your older stuff, man. It was really, really compelling.
The older stuff sucks. The older videos are horrible.
So you started back in 2017, right?
Yeah.
Were you the first to do it, or do you know anyone that did? Dog wants to go out again.
Oh yeah, Dog's trying to go out again. Sorry, he does not want us to do this show. No, I definitely wasn't the first to have a channel. Pete, actually, Craigslist Hunter. I saw his videos, and that's why I started making a channel, because I was like, this is pretty cool. I can kind of share what I know about reselling and learn from other people. This dog. In and out. What are you doing? He's playing games. He's seriously playing games.
He knows you're live. That's why he.
It's going to be one of those shows.
It's going to be fun. And so you saw Pete, and you're like, I can do this, and that's pretty much.
Yeah, I loved his channel. Pete's channel was just awesome, and I always have kind of enjoyed teaching and that aspect of reselling. So I was like, I'll just kind of show what I know. And I've learned 100 times more by watching YouTube videos about reselling than like anything I ever would have known before. Like, it's crazy to think about in 2017, like the stuff I was buying and like how I was going about reselling versus how I'm doing it now.
Yeah,
The big
it's
difference.
crazy. It's crazy for me even too, because I started like even going back to early this year to like to what I was buying to what I'm buying now. It's just crazy how much knowledge is out there and how much you can learn in like a short period of time for sure. And like, because I think like last year I was even too afraid to buy golf clubs because I was afraid they were too hard to ship. And now I pick them up everywhere I go and like all these things. So like I imagine you when you go out like in the field, you're like one of those like see like the Terminator movies and they have like those cyborgs and they see like human, friendly, bad foe. You have like those like robot brains when you're out there and you're like $50, $20, $30. So is that pretty accurate when you go to a yard
that's
sale?
a good analogy. Whenever I go to sales, like I try to scan every single item like with my eyes, I guess. I don't like actually scan with my phone. And my wife will say that like I get in the zone, like she'll be talking to me and I don't even hear it. It's like I'm just so focused on like what I can find there.
So how long does it take you to learn like a new category?
It's over time. Like clothing, for example, I used to not look twice at clothing, and over the past 2 or 3 years, like I'll slowly learn brands here and there. I'll learn like different categories within clothing to avoid and certain ones to look for, to the point now where like when I go to a sale and it's a nice house and they've got clothes, like I can look through it and probably find something. It only takes me a minute or two. I don't know everything, but I know enough about clothing to where like it's a good category for me and I sell a good amount of stuff. Because like you know how it is, like when you're at a nice house and they've got money, you just know the clothing for the most part is going to be nice. Like you're not buying cheap Walmart stuff.
That's usually because I don't know clothing almost at all, but I know if I go to like a next $1 million house, I'm like, okay, they probably are not shopping at Old Navy, so like whatever.
Right.
So if it's a brand I haven't heard of, it's probably good. That's usually the way I look at clothes for sure.
And the vintage clothing is just crazy. Like there's so much of that good stuff. Like I've learned a lot from watching different channels. Mojo Casher is a local one that knows a ton about vintage, so I've learned a lot from those guys.
Yeah, and the vintage market is blowing up now too, and for sure. Next video, John's gonna buy a shirt off somebody's back. I can see that.
I should try to do that once. How much for the shirt you're wearing? Just to get a reaction.
I did that once for a guy who's wearing a vintage Vince Carter jersey.
Yeah.
And his wife thought it was hilarious, and the guy was like, "It's not funny, man. The shirt's not for sale."
It's not funny.
So would you say like you probably specialize in like sporting goods, right? That is probably the thing you probably know the best.
Yeah, sporting goods is what I got started in. I mean, this was like 18 years ago that I started doing it. And I was working at a sporting goods store and I was buying stuff and taking it to the store. And I worked there so long that I learned just an absolute ton about sporting goods. So like that's like my go-to, that stuff that's just what I know the most about. And it's a category that most people don't mess with. Like a lot of resellers aren't messing with sporting goods, at least the sales that I go to.
Yeah.
So I've got an upper hand on that stuff.
So like, can you tell just right away what a bat is worth? Would you have to do like the composite check and all that, or you just can just tell?
Yeah, dog's coming back in. The beauty of the bats is they've all got a model number right on the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can just search, Easton and then put in the model number and have an idea. But I could like look through a big box of bats and, in a couple minutes say like, these are the good ones, these are the bad ones. And then I couldn't give you like exact numbers off the top of my head, but I could at least say, these are probably worth selling, these aren't.
So like what's the best bat sale you ever had?
Oh God. I sold an Easton Red Line. This has been years ago, and it was like $450, $500, and it doesn't look like anything special. Like it's a 20-year-old bat. Just looks like a plain old aluminum bat, but they've got like this cult following, and they sell for a lot of money. There's one that I've not found. It's like the Holy Grail. It's called a Z2K by Easton. It's this black bat with yellow writing and blue and everything, and it's just really cool looking, and it's old too. It's like a 20-year-old plus bat, but it sells It used to sell over $1,000, like $1,000 to $1,500.
Wow.
Yeah, for a used bat. I don't know what they're going for nowadays because I haven't found one. They're just so rare.
Yeah, I remember you posted like one of the like aluminum bats that you told was worth like 500, but because it was like off by like a digit, it was like worth like 100.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That, that
The model number was like BZ1-C instead of BZ1 or something like that.
yeah.
So it went from like a $400 bat to like $100 bat. I was like, oh, that sucks. But it's still
It's,
sold.
it's crazy how just like one low thing can make like a $300 difference. I was like, dang,
Yeah.
that's insane. So we got a question here from Misha. She says, "Do you have a booth or brick and mortar situation?"
I used to have 2 antique booths, but I recently started renting a new place. Let's see, it's been 4 months that I've been there now, and it's basically this whole big house that was an office. And like the first floor and the basement is like all my reselling, like eBay stuff. But the second floor I turned into a shop. So I closed my antique booths and made the whole second floor a shop, and I do one big sale there a month.
I
Basically,
remember
it's all the
like
stuff I don't want to mess with. Put on eBay.
way back in the day, you bought a storage unit and you want to turn that into like a little shop. Did that turn out that good or no?
It did pretty well. Yeah, that was a ton of work though, man. Like I did it at the time because like we were going right into the quarantine. Like it was April of 2020 when that kind of happened. And if it was a normal year, like there would have been garage sales and everything, I don't think I would have messed with it because the amount of time it took, like it was hundreds and hundreds of hours that I spent over there. But I did make good money, and it, you know, replaced what garage sales would have been because there was like no garage sales going on.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense. That's pretty much how I guess it was here too. And we all can find like different creative ways to make money because no garage sales, no thrift stores. I buy a lot of storage units. They even closed those down. So I was like, oh.
Oh, that sucks. How are the thrift stores where you're at?
Not good.
No.
Once you go more like in the city and like a little north, they become better. But like where I am, I have 2 Goodwills about 10 minutes away from me, and they're probably the worst Goodwills that I've ever been to in my life.
Wow.
So yeah, they're like thrift stores is like the bottom of my list when I go sourcing. Yeah,
that's brutal. I'm coming to Philadelphia in about 3 weeks. I was hoping that you'd have some good thrifts or something we could hit up.
The actual city is decent, and then if you go north of the city, it's pretty good. But like where I am, it's
okay.
Not the best. Yeah. So I get to see. I'll probably figure out where you are exactly, and there's probably some good ones around there. But not next. Yeah.
Well, I'm renting a car, so I could meet up with you, and you can, you know, show me where the good ones are. We'll go find some stuff.
Sounds good.
I just got to keep it small so I can fly it back.
Or you can just buy it and give it to me. It's fine too.
Right, there you go.
So Tommy has a very important question here. He says, with you, Chad, Ben, Vincent getting some pick, will there be a Cincinnati Squid Game soon?
God, I hope not, man, because I will lose that. I would 100% lose that. Oh, God. Even if we did like a reselling, you know, a reseller Squid Games, like trying to find stuff, I would lose that too. Like, I haven't picked with Shad enough. Shad's a really good picker. He focuses more on video games.
Every
Ben
video
and Vincent,
out, he finds insane stuff. Shad,
he finds he's really good. I think I would be on par with Shad. I think that Vincent and Ben would both pick circles around me.
Yeah.
They're both very, very. They're just, I don't know. It seems like they're on another level than me and Shad. Shad and I are still catching up with the times.
Yeah, I met Vincent on the boat, and I was talking to him, thinking he was like 50 subs because I never heard of him. And he showed me the channel. I was like, oh wow, okay, man. So,
yeah, he's grown like really quick. He's grown super quick. So is Ben too. Ben's channel is getting up there.
Yeah. So do you think like your location kind of has something to do with why the channel
100%.
is succeeding?
Yeah,
Cincinnati
I'm super lucky.
Gold mine.
It really is. I'm super lucky to be in Cincinnati because whenever we go on vacations, like, I don't know, in the last 5 or 6 years, we have hit garage sales in Michigan, Tennessee, Florida, Arizona. I think we hit some in Colorado, just all over the country. We'll hit garage sales and, you know, different thrift stores and stuff. And I don't know what it is about Cincinnati. The garage sales here are amazing. They're so good. I haven't found anywhere like it yet that has as good a garage sales as we do. Our thrift stores aren't great. Ben, Ready Set Resell, he's on the other side of town. He's like 45 minutes from me, and the ones by him, the thrift stores are pretty good, but all the thrift stores around me are just absolute crap.
Yeah, that's what I realized about Cincinnati. Also, like where Kale lives, Lexington, also is like a gold mine for yard sales. I remember
Yeah,
I
Lexington,
flew in
Kentucky is pretty good.
Yeah, I flew in Friday morning for the rally, and I had to keep reminding myself it was Friday because we had like 50 yard sales to go to, and I'm like, this is like a Saturday back home. It's insane
Right.
how many like insane sales there are here. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's in the peak season, there's more than you can hit in a day. So you just got to be really picky about where you go.
Do you do more Fridays or Saturdays or both?
I do both. There's even a town north of me, like 30 minutes north of me, to Dayton, Ohio, and they have Thursday sales.
Oh,
And they have quite a few Thursday sales. So that's awesome. Like peak season, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm just out finding tons of stuff.
wow. That's like reminds me of like football trying to be everywhere now. Like usually it was just like Sundays. Now it's Sunday,
Right.
Monday. Now it's Thursday.
Yeah, all
So
the time.
that's yard sales too.
And they added a week too, right? 17 games instead
Yeah,
of 16.
they took away a preseason game no one cares about. So I guess that makes sense. Can you
Yeah.
tell me why Cincinnati is so hard to spell?
I don't know. I was watching the Bearcat game today against Navy, and ESPN misspelled Cincinnati. They put two T's instead of two N's. It's like, what are you doing, guys? ESPN misspelled it.
For some reason, it doesn't surprise me with ESPN.
Yeah, Tommy spelled it right.
Grammar. Yeah, that every single time when I would spell it, it would be green, it would be red. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I was like, oh, it's two N's.
Yeah.
Why is it two N's? Okay, it makes sense. How are the Reds doing? They trade Suarez yet or no?
No, I don't think. They got him on a team-friendly deal when they signed him because like his numbers were awesome when they extended him, but this past season and kind of some of last year too, he just hasn't been good. He's batting like 200 or something, but he redeemed himself a little bit. But yeah, I don't think anybody's going to want to trade for him. They had a good season. They just like their September was horrible. It was really bad. They just went in a free fall. So yeah, I don't know. There's always next season. That's what we say as Reds fans.
Back when I owned a moving company, I moved somebody from Philadelphia who got a job as like one of the financial analysts for the Reds, and this was like 3 years ago. And I was talking like, do you think the Reds are ever going to be good? And he's like, we have like a $300 million budget. That's pretty much one player for the Phillies. That's our whole budget to spend on players. It's almost, almost impossible for us to be good anytime soon.
Yeah. Yeah, but you say that honestly though, like if you look at like the best teams like Tampa, they're first every year and they have the smallest budget in the whole league.
Yeah, true.
But they know what they're doing and they run a really good franchise. And then you look at teams like the Padres, who last season went out and spent hundreds of millions of dollars, and everybody, went ahead and crowned them World Series champs, and they didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like they went hard. The Padres went really hard and got a ton of guys, and it was like, oh, they're going to be good. It's like, oh wait, no, they're not. So there's a mix. Like, yeah, it helps to like spend money on players, but it's definitely no guarantee that you're going to win.
It reminds me of the Phillies every year. We just like to spend money.
Right? Yeah, they paid Bryce and Realmuto and all that.
So I feel you there. But I'm still surprised no one left after 10 minutes of baseball talk. I'm pretty pretty impressed.
I could just talk baseball all night.
Yeah, I enjoy it too. I feel like one more thing. Like I feel like the Marlins would be good if they kept their players. I don't understand why they like, because they always find a good talent, but then as soon as he becomes good, they trade him for like more prospects.
The Marlins, I don't think can come up with a plan and stick to it for more than 2 years because, like, they'll clean house and rebuild and everything, and then they won't see it through. So who knows?
Yeah.
There was a question from Liquidation Pros I wanted to answer. He says, what do you guys think the future of garage sale content on YouTube will be? Seems like a lot of creators are pulling back.
Yeah.
That is a really good question, man. I wish I knew the answer to it. Like, I don't know what the future is. I had to tweak my channel a little bit. Like, I guess it's been a few months now where, like, because I was filming every day, like, what sold on eBay type videos and pulling orders and stuff. And just the work involved with it versus like the views. I had to pull back because those took so long to edit and they made packing longer, and the viewers didn't like them. They'd get like 1/4 the views of like a normal garage sale video. I'm like, why am I putting all this work into this if nobody's really wanting to watch it? So I focus on just doing like 2 garage sale videos a week, sometimes 3. It'll be tough now that we're going to the off season. There's no garage sales. I'll be hitting probably estate sales and stuff like that. But I don't know what the future is. I think the future is
goes, amen to that. Nobody wants to watch one.
Right? Yeah. What's up, Kevin? Since there's so much competition, like there's so many more channels now that are doing it, I think the future is probably better overall videos. So better edits. I think like quicker cuts, things to keep viewers' attention. Personally, my favorite garage sale videos to watch are from Thrift Mine. Because Ryan is just such a good editor. He really, really knows what he's doing. Like he does the zoom ins, like he does something like every 10 or 20 seconds to keep your attention. Yeah. And I think
and they have the 2 different cameras too.
Yeah, the 2 different cameras are amazing. Oh my God. Like yeah. His videos are on another level for sure. So like I think that's where it's going to, because like there's just so many choices now for people to watch. Like they're not going to watch a 30 or 40 minute garage sale video where you're slowly kind of just poking through looking at stuff. You know what I mean? Like I try to always keep mine relatively short, like 10 to 15 minutes is kind of the sweet spot. And like, I'm pretty much just showing the highlights. Like I'm not showing everything I look at the garage sale. Like I'm trying to keep it moving a little bit.
Yeah. I was about to ask you that, like, what is the sweet spot for time and for how many a week you think? So your subs don't get burned out from watching.
Yeah, I think for me right now it's 2, maybe 3 videos, which is a lot less than I used to do. I used to pump out like 4 or 5 videos a week. Yeah, and like I don't think, at least for my channel, that's the way to do it. I think 2 to 3 is kind of the sweet spot.
And then like 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, because if it's much longer, I don't think a whole lot of people are watching it.
Nerdy Picker said you can watch 30 plus videos of shopping. It's so relaxing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can't because I usually watch while I'm working here. So like so I'm really glad Alani's back with Shed Flips, because I usually just put his on because I can just have him play in the background and he can talk the whole time and I can kind of pay attention. But if I'm watching like a picking video, I have to actually focus on what they're picking out, So like I can't really work while doing it at the same time. But
yeah, and Lonnie's really conversational with the camera too. He's really good at that. To where like you can kind of listen to him in the background and it's like he's just kind of there hanging out with you. He can do that. That's something I'm not great at, is being
he's like a podcast. Much like I could just put him on the background, I even watch what he's doing, and I can picture what he's doing based on what he's saying and stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like watching Tommy and Tracy while I list, and like it takes me the entire week of listing to watch one of their live streams. It's like 9 hours long, so it's perfect. It's like one night they give me a whole week of content.
9 hours? They must have seen one of the shorter ones. That seems like a really short episode for them. For sure.
I swear to God, one morning I woke up at like 5:30 and I just got on my phone and I was like, Tommy's still alive. I was like, what the hell is happening? This is crazy.
Yeah, it sounds about right. There's like a couple of other lunatics that are out there like at 3 a.m. watching them too. And we're like, sometimes I'm like, almost like, why am I watching this guy to be up in 2 hours? Right. What am I doing?
Yeah, my son gets me up every morning at 6. It's if not earlier, so I just fall asleep. I'll be sitting on the couch watching TV with my wife. 9:30, I will fall asleep sitting up like I'm just done.
It's a good place to be.
Yeah. Tommy says Tracy's out of control. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's the reason. Tracy controls when the show starts, and that's for sure. So when did you start seeing growth on your channel?
I think it's been about 2 years ago. I want to say it was like April or May of 2019. that I started making some changes. I got really good advice from Steve and Steph, Resale Killers. I don't know if you know those guys, and Lonnie as well. So like the three of us, you know, for years have talked off and on about like YouTube and reselling and different things. And Steve figured out YouTube early on. Like he kind of like, you know, cracked the code, so to speak, with like his dumpster diving and everything. And like he knew the titles, he knew the thumbnails, and he had a very good strategy of it. And he gave me advice on my videos. And I started changing my titles and my thumbnails, and like almost overnight, like I saw like a huge change.
Wow.
So yeah, it's pretty awesome. And I've talked to YouTubers now and then, like trying to think of a few, like Hustlin' Hooks. I just talked to one the other day, Thrifty Yeti, just like anybody who reaches out to me about like YouTube, like I just forward that advice onto them. You know what I mean? Like the people that have helped me and like what they taught me, like I try to just show people like, okay, here's what I would do with your videos. Like maybe call it this instead of calling it that.
Yeah.
So yeah, YouTube's a tricky beast for sure.
Is Steve still produce content or no?
Steve and Steph?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have two channels. They have Steve and Steph Resale Killers, and then they just have Steve and Steph. So the Steve and Steph is kind of like them just doing like goofy stuff as a couple, and then the Resale Killers is like all dumpster diving. They go behind, you know, the big box stores and pull out crazy stuff out of dumpsters. It's pretty interesting.
Crazy how like to this day I still don't know. They have 500,000 subscribers, and this is the first time I heard of them. that's crazy.
Oh yeah, they've got huge channels for sure.
Dang.
They used to do a lot of reselling stuff. So like, I don't know if they ever went to garage sales, but they would buy a lot of pallets and things like that. And then they shifted and focused on dumpster diving, and that's when their channel just exploded. But yeah, Steve knows YouTube big time. He knows what he's doing.
So when you made the 2 videos that went like viral, did you know when you made them that they're gonna hit?
No way. Sometimes I'll have an idea. Like when I did a video 3 or 4 months ago, and I came on that garage sale where the dude had this huge box of cards, and I spent $1,000 on them. I was like, I think this video has a chance to do well, and it did better than normal, but it didn't like go crazy viral. Like the video that's at like 3 million views, like I wouldn't have guessed that. You know, like I don't.
Really? Because I seen that one probably in the first like 3 hours when it came out, and I was like, this one's gonna make it. Because I feel like people like the whole like I'm gonna buy everything, and like that thing always usually hits. And the guy was a character too. The guy was really funny.
The guy was funny. His wife was nagging him a little bit. That was funny. What took me a long time to realize is that the viewers don't so much care about what I find as they care about an interesting interaction.
Yeah.
Like I've done thrift store videos, and like those don't do good at all. Like I don't think I'll ever do another thrift store video because it's just me, you know, looking for stuff. And that market, you know, the resellers that are watching those is just a lot smaller, you know, than those viral videos. So like that 3 million view video, maybe 20,000 of those views are from like resellers, and the rest of it's just, you know, everyday people that are kind of peeking into our world for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amber resells. So Steve and Steph figure out how to appeal to a mass audience. They are the only channel my mom and sister watch consistently. Yeah, they definitely appeal to the mass audience.
Your mom doesn't watch you consistently, Amber? Come on. Yeah. So like, when did it take for that one to hit 1 million? The I'll buy everything one.
I'm trying to remember. I want to say it was like 6 months, something like that.
It
took a little. I think it took a little while.
It wasn't like an instant hit. It was like a.
It wasn't instant. Maybe it was 3 months. I'm so bad at time, man. I'm horrible with timing. But yeah, it took a little while. I think it like had a burst and it died, and then it got a second life like a month or two after.
Pretty awesome. What about the second one? Though, was it like don't walk by these at garage sales?
Oh yeah, that's been a while. That one took a lot longer. I think that took like a year maybe. That one, like out of the gate, I don't think it did it did good, but not great. And then 6 or 9 months after the fact, I think it got a second life. I think that video is what, like 2.5, 3 years old now?
Yeah, that was like 2 something.
Yeah.
That should be kind of like encouraging though to people, right? Saying, hey, if it doesn't hit now, 6 months later, it could potentially read.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, I see random videos because like I'll get a comment on my app or whatever. It's like, this is an old video, and I go back and look, and it's like, oh, weird. Like YouTube's pumping that video all of a sudden, and like people are commenting on it.
It's pretty cool. So Misha wants to know, will you ever go back to YouTube auctions? Ever?
So the auctions that I did were on Dwayne's channel, Mothership Products. There's probably only a handful of people in the chat that know Dwayne, but he's a good friend of mine. He used to do YouTube auctions like every Saturday night. Like it was a big live show and it was fun and everything. So I did it with him just because I, trusted his process and I enjoyed doing it. It was fun. So I don't know. I don't think I would ever want to do it on my own. But YouTube auctions are fun. I think it's a really cool market and way to get rid of stuff, and it's just like a big party basically, like hanging out with everybody.
And it's crazy how there's people that have like 200 subs, and then they do an auction. There's like 60 people in their auction, and like, wow, the very loyal sub community here. It's like they don't have that many subs, but they all show up to the auctions.
Yeah.
So you said you don't want to do the what solds in the off season. Do you have any plans of what you're going to do now, or are you just saving videos? Or
no, I definitely don't have any videos saved. That would have been smart to do some extra garage sale videos and put just to have them in the tank. But I wasn't that smart. I'll probably go to estate sales. I typically don't like going to estate sales just because the prices are ridiculous, and there's some really shady estate sale companies around here that really just try to screw over the family, and it's really unfortunate. So I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. That's probably the plan.
Or like bulk buys, because I used to do that too during the off season, right? Like,
I do bulk buys. I don't know if I'm going to film them though, because like I just did a bulk buy the other day. And I didn't film it, and I was so glad that I didn't, just because like the negotiations can be tense and awkward, and like a lot of it's just like me kind of looking through boxes and like kind of comping prices out. You know what I mean? So there's just not much there.
Well, wait, so it's real negotiations? Because I hear like, oh, it's fake for the camera, then actually paying more after the video.
Right? Yeah. That viral video, so many people comment like, "This is so staged. This is staged." I'm just like, if I was gonna stage this, why would I only have like one table of toys? Like, it's
easy
really
to stage. Right? It's less work for you to do.
Yeah. Hey, I'll be right back. My son's calling me.
No problem. While he gets his kill, let me say hi to everybody that's here. Wow, there's 53 people watching. Thank you guys so much. Hello, Ella. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Baskets Resale. Forgot your name, bro. I'm sorry, but I think you're from Chicago. Hello, Amber, Misha. Kevin, I'll get to that comment when he comes back. Patrick Murphy is here. How you doing? Emmett First. I've been collecting and flipping sports cards for a few years. About a year ago, I got to flipping other items. Good take. Learn a lot from you. You, I guess you mean you by John, not you, me, Palani, Kevin. I'll let him know when he comes back. What's going on, Dave? Dave's coming on after John, guys, so don't leave in 30 minutes. Dave's going to be here. I had a video at 9K views today that said, wow, that's awesome, Dave. Roman's here. How you doing? I already asked that question from Misha. Let's see, flipping sports guy Paul, what's going on? The assistant John is here. How you doing, man? I already said hi to Tommy. I said hi to Tracy. See if I missed anybody else. Listening, watching. How you doing, Mayor? That was pretty quick, man. You got him settled down really fast.
Yeah, I think you just want a snack.
It's like you know what you're doing.
Almost.
So Kevin said when you did auctions, Lonnie bid him up on your hats. He thinks there was collusion. Do you have anything to say about that?
No collusion whatsoever. I remember I bought. I didn't win the auction, but the winner ended up giving it to me. It was Lonnie's hat. Lonnie had this ugly Norway hat that he thought was just like the greatest thing ever, and he auctioned it off. This has been years. It's probably been 3 years ago.
Sounds like Lonnie for sure.
Yeah.
Guys, are there any big channels that record live at household auctions that could be pretty interesting to watch?
None that I can think of.
Yeah, me neither.
It seems like live auctions are dying off, which is really sad because live auctions are so much fun. Like so many things are going online now. They just put it on high bid and let people duke it out.
Even like storage auctions, most of them are online now too. They used to all be live when I first started buying them. Now they're all online as well. So like everything live's dying out, unfortunately. Yeah. Look, interesting question I always wondered myself. So like let's say you go to a yard sale. And yard sale says we start at 8. What time should you be there?
5:30.
Really?
No, I'm joking.
I was like, what?
I usually get if it's a community sale, I'll get there maybe 45 minutes early. If it's like just a normal one-off sale, I might get there like 15 minutes early, 30 minutes at the very earliest. But then like every time I get out of the car, I'm like, am I too early? Like, is it okay? And most people don't care. They don't. It doesn't bother them. They want you to.
My question every single time. Now, what if it says no early birds? What's the earliest you can be there?
I won't get there early. If they specifically say it, I'll just get there on time.
Okay. I've tested that theory a couple times. It never works out well for me. I'm like, I know you said no early birds, but I'm hearing it like, yep, we start at 8. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, if they do the all caps and no early birds, like you just know you're dealing with the Karen. It's like, I don't even want to mess with that sale.
You just want to avoid it whatsoever.
Yeah. It's funny though, man. Some people like they just have to wait till the time. Like they'll have it all set up in the driveway and they'll just like stand there and watch you. Like,
that's so exactly like how it was because I was like, it's here. I'm here. Can I like nope.
Nope. Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I was just at my local auction Thursday. Vintage clothes are selling for crazy money. That sounds about right. Vintage clothes is crazy hot right now for sure.
Probably not a lot of people bidding on that either.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. Are you saying that they were selling for crazy money at your local auction?
Yeah, that's what I think she said. That everybody, because they're so hype right now. So anybody that thinks that they have a vintage shirt, that they think they have like $1 million, where a lot of the vintage shirts only sell for like $20-$30. But whoa,
Melanie says, "Don't be weird like me and message the yard sale people and ask if they need help setting up."
Find that a good idea.
You let me come early, I'll help you pull tables out.
I had one situation where the guy had a bunch of video games, and I offered to come Friday and say, "Hey, can I just come pick him up Friday so you don't have to worry about it on Saturday?" He goes like, "No, it's first come first serve." So I came there like 30 minutes early to get the video games, and he's like, "Someone came yesterday to get them."
Oh man.
I was like, I asked you yesterday. He's like, I got so many messages. I decided just to let one person come and get them. I was like, are you kidding me?
That sucks. Yeah, I don't even try that anymore. Like when the sales say like they have this or that, like message them. Like I know so many people do it.
Sometimes I just like that. I even would just avoid it. If it says video games on the sale, I just want to avoid that sale. Yeah. I know every reseller is going to go to that sale first, so I try to go somewhere else.
I like finding things that they missed because like I know my competition and I see them leaving a sale and I'm just like, I can't wait to see what you missed because they don't like they just focus. Like I'm not talking about Shad Juice and Ben and Vince and all those guys. I'm talking about like, the guys that don't have channels that you don't see. And like I see them leaving a sale and I'm just like, I know you left stuff for sure. Because like they're just so narrow minded and they're so niched out where they're only getting certain stuff. And like that's one of the worst things you can do, in my opinion, like when you're at garage sales trying to find stuff. Like just find something. Almost every sale has something you can make money on. You just have to find it. Carl's is barking at something.
Does you want to go out again?
No.
I once followed a couple at a community sale where all they did was just ask for video games. and I would just like follow them behind every sale and just keep grabbing and stuff. Like there was once that the guy had a whole like almost brand new pink set of clubs that he only wanted $20
Oh,
for.
wow.
And they just walked right past and asked for video games.
Yeah.
They left like
a horrible
DVD, VCR combos, left so much good stuff from it. I was like, appreciate it, guys. Just keep going with your video games.
Seriously.
They probably bought like 2 things at the whole community sale, and I had my whole card packed, and I was always following them because I knew they left all the good stuff for me.
Yeah.
Josh says I don't even look for video games anymore. It's too hard.
Right, yeah.
The market is saturated.
That's for sure.
Yeah. I found some games today, all with eBay prices. Oh, nice. There we go.
So they probably didn't sell them then.
Yeah, my first sale today, I went there. I thought I hit it big because you had a bunch of Wii games, but there was no prices on them. So I was like, hey, what do you have for the game? And she's like, give me a second. And she would start scanning them all with the eBay app in front of me.
No kidding.
I was like, I'm good. I just
thanks.
I was like, I'm going with the other sale.
Wow.
She's like, this sells for 15. So 15. I'm like, no, that's
no,
fine.
It's eBay. Like this is a garage sale.
I'll go somewhere else. You're fine.
Yeah. Oh man, that's hilarious. Yeah, people's logic sometimes just baffles me.
The funniest thing is, like, let's say it goes on eBay for this. I'm like, well, you're not on eBay. You're at a garage sale. Like,
right. The best is they print they have a whole printout of the eBay listing, and then you can see under that price 0 bids.
Yeah. Yes. Like this is what's go from. Like no, that's not what's that's
right.
That it doesn't seem they have like those black diamond VHS and they want like $1,000 for them because.
Oh my god, yeah, and the Beanie Babies. Tommy says Krillin has the most untapped market.
Very true. Krillin has the ultimate like death pile. Like Krillin could die in his death pile, and no one will find him.
That's my biggest fear is like dying, and there's just so much crap that my family's got to go through. I think that's what drives me the most. It's like just constantly trying to keep up with my inventory.
Do you have a big death pile yourself or no?
No, not really. I've been pretty good about moving through it. With my new place now, when I do one sale a month, like I put everything in there that I don't want to put on eBay. So like if it's $15 or less, like if I don't think it's going to bring $20, then I just put it in the sale and sell for $1 or $2.
Dang.
Because like my big bulk buys, like I just get so much stuff, and I'm constantly trying to sort it and put it in that sale. So that's where it all goes.
Yeah, that's probably very smart. So you just focus your attention on the higher items, and then
yeah. The last like year or so, I've tried really hard to up my average selling price, and it's at like $53 right now. So I'm really happy with that.
That's really good. Now, what percentage you think of your sales as viewers?
When I was doing the what's sold videos,
oh yeah, it's probably a lot higher. Yeah,
I'd say 20% of the items that I sold were viewers, and it may be attributed for like 10% of the sales because it was usually lesser items, like cheaper items. Now it's like less than 5% is going out to viewers.
I guess they want that shout out.
Yeah, some of them want the shout out, which I understand. I get that.
Did you ever get someone being upset at you that you didn't like shout them out as well as they wanted to get a shout out?
I've had a couple people, yeah. I've had people like just randomly message for a shout out. I'm just like, it's weird. I don't understand the whole shout out thing necessarily.
I never get that myself because like if I'm watching your video and you say, hey, so and so bought this, here's his channel, I'm never gonna stop the video and go click on that guy's channel. Like that's just I don't know. Like I don't understand how people think that's gonna get them fame and fortune or something. So, but hey,
yeah, I have people like message a whole like paragraph of like what they want me to say. I'm like, I'm just not doing that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not gonna do it.
Like, hey, I bought this $10 item. Can you do this ad read for me real quick?
Right.
Means your business is sustainable. I'll be worried if all the sales went to viewers. Means it can go away. Yeah, no, that's for sure, Dave. That's very true.
I knew it would be fine because like I've been reselling for years and years and years and years. Well, long before I sold to viewers, I've been selling stuff. So I like the stuff that I find, the stuff that I list sells. Like that's the other reason that, you know, like I've been good with eBay is that I don't sell junk. Like if it doesn't have a history of selling, I don't list it. You know, unless it's something rare and unusual or something like that. But like if there's 3 times as many actives as there were sold in the last 90 days, like just don't bother with it.
Yeah. I think it's a very common misconception that they think bigger channels like you, Lonnie, Kevin, Matt only survive because of viewer sales. And I'm like, that's not true whatsoever.
Yeah. I'm fully aware that YouTube will go away at some point. I don't know when that is, but when it does, I will be ready. Like YouTube could just completely die tomorrow and I would be totally fine. Because like I've got my eBay business where it needs to be, you know, reselling and everything. Like that's the bread and butter. That's what pays the bills.
For sure. Kevin says I don't buy it. I just show up at the door. That may or may not be true, Kevin. I do know where he lives, guys. If you guys want to like send me whatever, I'll do a private auction to give away Kevin's information. Whoever bids the most.
I love that picture. I love that picture on Instagram of you standing next to Kevin. Like I met both you guys at the rally, so but just seeing that picture of you two next to each other, I was just like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen."
It's probably like the tallest and probably the shortest person in the reselling community. So it's
I think it is.
It's quite a combination.
I'm sorry, Kevin. I swear to God, I'm not laughing at you, man. It's just so funny. It was such a good picture.
Kevin also makes that cabin look huge. I come in there, I'm like,
that's right. You're like in your head.
This thing is like a doghouse over here, man. Kevin makes it look like it's like a mansion in there.
Oh God.
So if he wants to know where you're from, apparently.
I'm from Cincinnati. I get believe it or not, I get comments. Where do you live? Take a guess.
It's the same thing with me. But I'm from California. So Philly Flipper's a lie. Okay, Kevin says Dave's an insurer, so his ego is okay.
Dave Tesla Picker's an inch shorter than you, Kevin? Really?
No, I think he means NC Picker Dave. Because
I've met Dave. I think Dave's a little taller.
Nah, I feel like
I'd put Tesla Picker at like 5'9".
Yeah,
I think
Kevin is not that small. Sure, Mish, whatever.
Kevin, you may be little, but you're big in our hearts.
There we go. There we go. I'm 6'5.5" growing. The proper shoes, I can be 6'6", but
proper shoes.
Yeah, if I wear my basketball shoes, they give me like an extra half an inch.
Yeah, I knew Paul was tall when I looked up at him because I'm 6'1". Like, so anybody that I'm like looking up at is like, oh shit, like that's a tall dude right there.
Yeah, that's like probably like the most popular thing I heard after the rally. Like, wow, Paul's big. I'm like, yeah, I've been hearing that.
Like, I have a personality too, guys. That's not
like guys. It's not just about size, okay, guys? Can we just let that go? So, John, what advice would you give to people like me right now, like in the 2,000 sub range, and if you want to grow on YouTube? What like things should we focus on?
Well, here, you want me to check out your channel real quick? Do a little breakdown?
Oh, okay. Do I have to buy an item from your store?
No. Now, keep in mind, I am not an expert, okay?
Okay.
Uh-oh. My son's... I thought he was crying. I think he's okay. Let's see. Let's look at your videos.
Do my thumbnails need a little work?
No, your thumbnails are good, man. So, like, from what I've learned, text in the thumbnail is good. So you've got some text in the thumbnail.
I heard from Ryan that cash in the thumbnail is really good. That's what I heard now.
Yeah, cash thumbnails are good. People like seeing a little bit of cash. I think my viral video, like I'm holding cash in it.
Yeah.
Let's see. I generally think that shorter titles are good. You do go to a lot of garage sales. So I think it's good that you're putting garage sale on the title.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's something that I would always do. Something that I did for like, I want to say like a year straight. Every garage sale video I did, I had garage sale on the title because it trained YouTube basically like what my channel was. So like, just stay consistent with that.
So you think then if I like start posting like a random storage in the video, it would be detrimental to my channel?
Possibly.
Then they don't know where to place me.
Yeah, I think especially now that there's so many reselling channels, I think that you kind of have to niche really. Like you got to figure out what videos you want to make. So like, put thought into like whatever it is you want to do and just stay in that lane. And I think it'll help you. I would probably shorten your titles a little bit. I try to keep them at like 8 words or less.
A month ago, I didn't realize that like descriptions were searchable, so I tried to put everything in the title that I could have just put in the description. So now, like a couple weeks ago, I just started making my title shorter and put the bulk of it. Because I try to use keywords like eBay, reselling, garage sale. I'll put it all in my title, but then it just becomes too bulky. Yeah.
The other thing is you want to make your titles with the viewer in mind that knows nothing about reselling, because that's when your videos will take off, is when you get outside of the reselling bubble. So I would steer clear of things. So like you got ones like Picker's Paradise. So like the average Joe doesn't know that. You want to probably focus on like weirder interactions instead of things that you bought. So like if the negotiation was awkward or just like something like funky and different happened, focus on that. And, kind of like think of it as like, they're like characters in your show, basically. You know what I mean? Like,
so pretty much like the more vague the title, the more
I think the more vague the better. Yeah. I mean, it's clickbait, but as long as you deliver, I think it's fine. Don't, put some kind of limousine or something crazy in your thumbnail that you didn't buy. I don't know, something like that.
That's it. It's it, guys. Everyone put limos in your thumbnails. You heard it here first.
Let's see. All right, so I'm looking at your most popular one. It's actually one you just did a week ago, and you got scammed. So like that's perfect. Like your thumbnail, you got your head in your hands. Scammed on eBay definitely gets searched a ton. I'm sure that gets searched a lot.
I can't get scammed every single day though, unfortunately. So
right,
I can't keep putting those videos out.
This one's good. I was lied to twice at this garage sale. Okay, so you titled that one, I was lied to twice at this garage sale, and then you put full-time eBay reseller makes lots of money in one morning. So I would take out that whole second part of that, and I would just do, I was lied to twice at this garage sale, and make that your title.
Sounds good. So, and if I switch now, it will like make a difference in the future as well, even though the video's been out for like
may or may not. It may or may not. I don't know. I don't think it can hurt it.
So pretty much titles 8 words or less. Thumbnails, how many words should be in the thumbnail, you think? Like,
you don't have to have words in the thumbnail. I think if it complements it well, then I would do it. Because like whenever I'm trying to think of like text for a thumbnail, like if I can't think of something and it doesn't work, then I just leave it, and I don't put any text in. You want to think about when you're watching YouTube, and let's say you're on your PC or TV or whatever, and in that all those recommended videos, think about like what you click on. So like you're going to show up in people's recommended in varying degrees.
Yeah.
And when people are looking at that, their attention span is really, really short. They're not going to read a long title. They're not going to do a lot of that stuff. So you really want to like grab their attention with something. So keep that in mind whenever you're doing titles and thumbnails, because like really that's the whole name of the game.
Dave was coming on after you has a good point and said words that you can read while scrolling their phone, because
Yeah,
the majority of people watch on their phone, so it's they're just going to be scrolling. So you want them to pique their interest
Exactly.
in what's happening.
Yeah. Thumbnails and titles is the whole name of the game for sure.
Okay, so Rachel is volunteering to scam me every single week. It's like I could keep producing videos. There we go, Rachel. Thank you.
Your text that is kind of like the color is like a white or like a tan. So I'm looking at the video that says I was lied to twice. I would get rid of that, and I would stick with the ones that's neon green.
Yeah.
I would stick with one color too. So like I see purple, red, and green. I would stick with your neon green. I think that's really good.
So just one color for all of them?
Okay, I think so. Yeah, just to stay consistent. Because that green pops really well.
I hope everybody is taking notes in the chat. This is good info from somebody that's been there before. So that's pretty.
A lot of this is just things I'm passing along. I didn't come up with this on my own. This is advice I've gotten over the years.
And then keep the videos, you said. So my last two were 16 minutes. So you said you think that's a little too long. So
I don't think it is necessarily long. Who was it? Is it Froggy Flips that has longer videos that are doing really good? Let me pull up his channel really quick.
I feel like Froggy Flips can make a 2-second video and it's going to be good. His
videos are amazing. Right now. He's really, really good. He's got some that are 26 minutes, 27 minutes. So I think it just depends, man. Like some people like watching longer videos if it keeps their attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Personally, I don't get enough good footage to make a longer video in one day. So like that's just my wheelhouse of like 12 minutes. So
that's something like I struggle with myself is like I'm not always going to find a home run item at a sale, and now I'm like,
right,
is it even worth me posting it if I'm just going to find a bunch of like bread and butter stuff? But then I just decide to post it anyway. So.
No, I would post it anyways because most of the people just like to virtually shop through you, and they like the interactions. I really don't think it's about what you find. That's part of it, but I think it's a very small part of the equation. I think it's more of like what's happening, what's going on.
Here's a good question from Tommy. What do you think drives Froggy's videos right now?
I need to watch more recent ones.
What has he figured out?
Well, he has most definitely figured out titles and thumbnails. So like, I just pulled up his channel. So like, if you look at his channel, he's got the yellow text.
Yellow.
He's consistent with all of it.
All yellow everywhere.
The arrow definitely is good, but they're all vague. They're all vague titles like Unusual Garage Sale Experience, Garage Sale Antique Hidden for Decades. That's a fantastic title. Like that is awesome. So he's got the titles and the thumbnails, but then the content is actually really good. He has a ton of personality. He goes and finds cool stuff. So like you put those two together and it's just a perfect combination for his videos to all go crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a perfect channel.
I just realized he's at a 152 already. He was at 100 like a week ago. He got 52,000 subs in a week.
His channel is exploding.
That is
I love
insane.
to see it too. I met Anthony and his wife. They came to my storage unit when I bought all the storage units and picked some stuff up. Just super nice people. So I'd love to see him, just go crazy with success.
And that's why I don't get when people like are jealous of that. I'm like, you want our community to get more exposure. So it's like there's more chances for us to be suggested. People watch his videos.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's exactly right. Because when people are watching his videos, all those views, 100,000, 200,000 views, what do you think's getting recommended in the bar next to it? Everybody, all these other reseller videos. That's what's getting recommended.
Yep, for sure.
My dog's trying to eat the guinea pigs. I might need to save them.
Well, you already did your 1 hour, John. So you get to say goodbye if you want.
All right.
You can go rescue your guinea pigs. Dave's in the background ready to go. So I guess
Awesome.
before I let you go, what do you have coming up next week or something that people should look forward to?
I'm actually going to Barbados next week, so nothing's going to be coming up for you guys. I'm sorry. I'm taking a vacation.
Thrifting in Barbados, you guys.
Yeah, garage sales.
John's going live from Barbados.
No, I'm shutting it all down. No thrifting, no reselling, nothing. I'm just going to be sitting on the beach with a beer in my hand.
Not
enjoying
jealous.
it.
Not jealous at all. Zero jealousy.
But yeah, this is fun, man. I'm coming to Philly in 3 weeks, so we got to go do some thrifting or sourcing or something.
For sure. I'll buy you a cheesesteak as well.
Awesome. That sounds great, dude. Thanks, man.
John,
can't wait.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, John. Bye.
See ya.
What up, man?
How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, you got some big shoes to fill, man.
Seriously, man. When you were like, "Hey, I'm gonna have you on," I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And you send me the thumbnail, and it's like, "Oh, I gotta follow Cincinnati." I was like, "I gotta follow the GOAT." All right, yeah, let's.
Yeah, I don't want to tell you that because I don't want to intimidate anybody. They're like,
no, it's totally fine. I honestly, I think it's good. It's one of those things where you have like the two. I was literally talking to somebody right before this, before I jumped on. That was gonna be like. It's almost a good thing to kind of see those both sides because I don't have like any of the experiences that he has. So it's one of those things where, it's an awesome kind of collaboration there where it's, two very different sides of the YouTube spectrum. Somebody who doesn't do it full time, somebody who's, not even, in the same spectrum as far as the YouTube side goes too. I'm excited for it. So I was watching, just taking notes, man. Taking notes as he was talking. It was great.
That's why I'm thinking I like my concept of the shows because I have like a bigger name first, and they say their side, and I have somebody who's trying to make it, and they share their point of view. And I think it's a pretty cool comparison for sure.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Before we get started, I gotta say thank you to Carissa who just gave me $10. Thank you, Carissa. Appreciate that. Nothing to see here. Okay. Let me play you your little super chat video.
Super chat, super chat, super chat. Super chat, super chat, super chat. Super chat, super chat, super chat. Super chat, super chat, super chat.
It seems like you see that one before the way you're getting it down. That's a Ella original.
I know. At first I was like, "Oh, that's Ella." Hey.
Yeah, guys. So here's okay. I guess before we get started, Dave, tell people who you are. People don't.
Yeah. So how's it going, everybody? I appreciate you sticking around as John Lewis and I come in. So my name is David. My channel is Thrifting After Work. I've actually taken. This is my first YouTube appearance in quite some time. Yes. I took about the last 3 months off. Had a lot going on in the personal life side. So, my channel is mainly just like a hobby reseller channel, kind of sharing what I've learned through kind of just starting the process part-time, doing it as a hobby, doing it while having a full-time job, and also just kind of absorbing and being part of the reseller community on YouTube and in the social media world, and trying to share kind of what I've learned through there, through that eye of like somebody who's just starting out, somebody who, is, not kind of doing it as a full-time job. So I can kind of share, all aspects of it and kind of, see what's going on the, basically on the smaller end. And actually now kind of what I'm planning on for, my next couple of videos, I haven't even filmed them yet, but 3 months was surprisingly enough time for almost my entire eBay store to basically reset down to nothing. So it'll be, because I didn't do any sourcing. I would sell things as they come up. I didn't relist a single item. So it's kind of interesting to see, especially for somebody, with my size, that just kind of, kind of averaging, 50 to 100 listings, how easy that was for it to kind of,
just die off,
just die out. Yeah. So it'll be, that's kind of what my plan is, kind of that almost like a comeback of like how does that comeback story look like trying to do it on YouTube? or on eBay, because one of the things that I've noticed too is there are a lot of people that, you know, watch the channels and that interact that, you know, I think we hear it all the time is like, oh, they started eBay back 10, 15 years ago and then did it for 5, maybe even 10 years and then took a couple of years off and are trying to get back into it and, you know, seeing everything in the community and watching videos online and trying to get like, you know, see how the world kind of gets back, you know, after that long break. So that'll be kind of a fun experience.
That'll definitely be fun to watch for sure.
Yeah.
I also like respected that from you is that when you started, like a lot of people like, oh, I don't have anything to offer. Let me like learn what I'm doing first and then start a channel. And you were like, no, this is gonna be like my journey. This channel is my journey. I'm gonna like pretty much just start when I start, and I'm gonna grow as a reseller and a channel at the same time. So I think that was pretty.
Yeah, and yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to do again, because for me it was really like a hobby. So it was like, okay, I want to do like all this, and obviously just be honest up front and be like, hey, like I don't know as much as all these other people and how everybody's doing. So like you're gonna see my process for it. You're gonna see like what works. You're gonna see what doesn't. You're gonna see somebody who doesn't have, you know, a professional setup. You're gonna see somebody who doesn't have an inventory system, and like, you know, as things start to update, because you know, that is something that a lot of people kind of see, you know, at least when I first started it was, and again, this is just my kind of inexperience of when I started, was when you start watching all the people, because when you see the videos, it's the Johns, it's the Harry Tornadoes, it's the Rally Roots, it's the people with those higher viewed channels.
Yeah.
And for me, you know, until I got and started making videos and being a part of the community, I was like, oh, that's all there is. So like that was where my idea came of like, let me start something that's like from zero. But there are a lot of people that are doing it as well. But that's kind of where that, you know, my kind of ignorance on that was like, oh, there's only a few channels doing this, so let me do it from this aspect and like from nothing instead of like
and you see everyone else does it too. The thing that you got, you know, is you got the channel name. I think since you got the channel name, there's probably like a good amount of people are like, ooh, you know what a good channel would be? Like thrifting after work. Because like I still work full time. I'm gonna go thrifting after work. Yeah. And you're like, damn it, somebody from Vegas already got it.
Yeah, no, and that was that thing too. Like when I was looking for that, it was like, okay, what am I doing? I literally like, because that was my whole process of this was like, I have a full-time job. I have a career. Truthfully, like I'm not looking to step away from that. I love what I do. I'm very passionate about what I do, and I make, you know, a pretty decent living, you know, outside of this. So I have no, and that's the other thing is like, I have no skin in the game as far as the reselling goes. I can stop it for 3 months and it literally has no effect on my life. So that was the thing where it's like, I can view this from the standpoint of just like, it's only for fun. It's only as a hobby. It's something that if I ever stop feeling like I want to do or stop being passionate about, I can stop. But you know, looking at that way of like, okay, again, how does that look? So like, yeah, what I was doing and what I'm going to kind of get back to doing was like, hey, I go and do my regular job, and then I spend, you know, hobby time after work, and you know, going to do this. You know, so that was kind of the mentality behind starting this type of channel.
So if he has a very important question for you. She says,
Yep.
Do you ever go thrifting after work?
I've gone thrifting after work, during work,
before work, or
never before work because nothing's ever open. But I've definitely had a few lunch breaks. There's a Goodwill like half a mile away from where my office is. So I've definitely done a few lunch breaks there. I've talked about this before, but like Las Vegas, I mean, just the amount of thrift stores that are here. You know, we have 17 Goodwills in a 20-mile radius.
That's crazy.
We have 3 DIs. We have about 7 Savers, which is another kind of Goodwill type store that's at the same scale, if not bigger. And like some of our Goodwills are like the size of a Toys R Us. Like some of them are in like old like department store locations. They're not small stores. So there's really an abundance, and pretty much wherever you are in the city, like if you can, you're gonna be able to find something or make a stop. And then there's a handful of small ones. There's garage sales every weekend. So like it really is, you know, kind of that a paradise for, you know, people wanting to do it. Now it is a little bit pricier than some areas, not like crazy, I would say, like from what I've seen. You can find some good deals. Definitely not. It's definitely not thrifting in the South. That's for sure. You're gonna. We don't get a lot. We don't get a lot of those.
There's no dollar shoes.
There's no dollar shoes. There's no There's no $4 shoes. So that's another thing too, is like having to kind of like look at how that scales from that end of it, where there's a lot more cost involved. There's a lot more other things involved.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So the average price is about $10. But here's the thing. So like for me, and you can find less. Like I would say realistically, I would say between 7 to 15 is what I usually pay for shoes. Again, that's all. Like I mainly deal with men's shoes. When I'm doing sourcing for it, I'm very picky about it, because like I'm looking for higher end brands that I don't have to do a lot of work with. Again, that's my thing, is like this is not like a full-time job for me, so I have to kind of look at things in a way of like, okay, how much time is this going to take me, and what's my profit going to be? So like I don't buy shoes that I can't sell for more than like $25 or $30.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
So like,
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So if I'm spending $10 on a pair of shoes, I need to at least double my money minimum. Usually even more. I try to do like a 2/3. I need to at least make $20 off that just for my time. And that's after fees and shipping and all that. So like if I buy a $10,
and you really want like a good sell-through rate if you're only making $20 on it too.
No, right? Exactly. So like like I do a lot of like a lot of not niche brands, but not like I don't do a lot of Nikes or a lot of Adidas, just because there's so many that sell, and there's a lot of people that really know, like, and that's the thing too. Like with a lot of those shoes, like half of them sell really well and the other half don't. So like I do a lot of like Asics, Hoka's, a lot of running shoes, a lot of athletic shoes.
Brooks,
Brooks. I don't know too much about like the hype shoes. I found a few pairs here and there, but again, it's kind of like what I think might be good, might not. I see a question from Art there too. So we do have one Goodwill bins in Vegas. It is a crazy environment. I did a video about it, which actually is one of the higher viewed videos on my channel. I wasn't actually able to film in there because they're very particular about filming in it. But the Goodwill bins here, there are people that are there 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's organized really well. I would say they do like 3 shifts. So like when it opens, they let people
$20 free shipping. There you
go. Exactly. $20 free shipping. So like the Goodwill bins here, like when they open, they're open for like 3 hours, and then they clear and through that they're rotating things pretty much constantly. Yeah. And then they clear everybody out of the store because they have a limit, and then they let another group in, then you got to get back in line. But there were at least 10, 15, 20 people when I was there that are there every single day, right?
All the time.
That's their business. It's just that one Goodwill bin store, and that's the only bin store we have. So I haven't had I found some good items there that actually sold pretty quickly and for pretty good pricing. Like again, if I was doing this as in more of like a way to where I need to make a living at it, like I would definitely be at the bins more. Yeah. Because there was some good quality stuff. Obviously, there's not good quality, and there is good quality, and it does take some time to go through. But it was definitely like a good experience to kind of check it out.
Yeah, I think I went to 2 bins so far in my life. First time I went with Yakov Benz. We went to New Jersey, and I probably got
I can only imagine how the Jersey bin store was.
Yeah, it was pretty chaotic, but like I'm a big dude, so no one really wants to push me around. Yakov didn't really make out as well as I did because he's a small little. They could do whatever they want to him. But I think I got like 35 pairs, and we only there for like 2 hours. So and 35 pairs, average probably buy cost be by $2 to $3 per shoe per pair, and they sold for $30-$40. There's a bunch of like Asics and books and stuff like that. And then I went last week in South Carolina with Treasures Noir, and I didn't really find much clothes or anything there because we didn't like plan on going there. We're going to a Goodwill and it turned out to be a Benz, so it did not really like turn out too well. But I found a John Deere die-cast tractor that's worth like $200.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's inside a Benz. That's pretty cool. But that one was chaotic in South Carolina. They took out a bin of DVDs, and 4 guys just went at it like complete like DVDs. It's like, why? And
Yeah.
there was a bin that was full, and in about 1 minute it was empty. They just
That's crazy.
just put it in their cart. So like not my style of thrifting for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
My shoes goes around 10.
And again, it's different for me because it's like, again, the way I kind of look at my time, you know, I'm very particular. So like there's often times where I go through like a Goodwill and I walk out with 1 or 2 items. You know, I'll spend, you know, 30 minutes going through, and like, you know, for me, there's, and it is kind of, it's almost, it's not like it's a bummer, but it's like I can see, I know there's a lot of things that I could either spend some time to research, spend some time to, you know, get working or do different things. And it really just comes down to like the time investment for me of like, you know, especially if it's something I don't know, or it's something that's really difficult to ship. I've had some bad luck shipping electronics and different things. So it's kind of turned me off a little bit on like, I've had some things break. I've had some things like, you know, go through. So if it's a really hassle to ship, or it's going to be a real hassle to like get prepped or things like that, I let it go. Just because, you know, I got to focus on like how much time I'm putting into it, and how, you know, like, okay, how much is this taking away from like my family and like, and different things like that, where it's, you know, I do let some things go. So I'm really looking for things that I know will sell well, will sell quick, and will make a profit on, which is good.
So when you were at your peak with eBay, what percentage do you think of your inventory was shoes then?
I would say probably 50 to 60%.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be higher than that. So, every time I saw your list, it was just listing shoes every single time.
Yeah, well, that was the thing for me. It was shoes for me were the reason that they were popping up on the list, and I probably should have like been clear about this in my. I don't think I was ever like clear about it in my videos. Is just because they were the easiest thing to take a picture of while doing the channel. So
that
like
makes sense.
Stuff like so like I do a lot of jeans too, like a lot of like clothes, and for me it was like I wanted something that was like right here that I could take a picture of, rather than like jeans where I have to be like, okay, I'm gonna go over here and fold this shirt and like do stuff like that. So
that's a good angle for you right there. They could have got you more views.
Exactly. So that's
you should have been facing the door there.
So that's the reason why mainly during those
the live
lives was pretty much all shoes. And it was easy to kind of process like enough of them to kind of make it last through like a live stream, because I could just sit there, I'd clean them all, get them all ready to take, get them all laced, ready to take pictures, and I could just fire them off. But yeah, I would say
the bar wasn't set that high before you either, because Joey will be on for 3 hours, list one thing. So you have to do is just list like 2 things, and you're already exceeding expectations.
Well, and that was the thing too. I mean, just to be honest, like when I was kind of watching, like I would watch like, you know, like I would watch Joey and Drew before I went on. And I kind of took my style of like listing there from Drew, where I saw him like that. He kind of had that same kind of thing too, where he would list a lot of shoes. And it's really because like, it's pretty quick. Like you got both shoes right here. Okay, I take this angle, turn this angle, flip this angle, you know, angle here, and then I can go on to the next one, rather than having to do a lot of like setup. It fits in like a small area. So that's the reason for there. But yeah, I would say probably close to probably 60. You know, 60% of what I do is shoes, and because it's easy, they're easy to kind of know like quickly. I can see them at the top of the shelf. You know, like in the Goodwill, so I can like, okay, I can grab them real quick rather than having to go through all the different shelves. Like I said, I stay away from certain electronics, you know, but it's a bummer because I'll watch Tim Osborne to thrift, and like he'll be flipping printers and all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, man, I know like if I did enough research and I had the time to like test them, make sure they're working, do all of those steps, that I could do it. But for me, it's a lot of just kind of like, okay, that's going to take an hour to process, or at least for me, because I don't have the resources. I haven't taken that commitment. I haven't committed and been like, okay, like I'm going to get all the things I need to be able to test this. Like, again, like whether it's VCRs or different things like that, where it's like, okay, I gotta have all the things like to test it and make sure it works. Like I haven't made that jump yet. And so for me, like,
it's understandable.
It's like, it's almost a turn off, because it's like, okay, I know I could do that, but I have none of the, I don't even have a box that would fit it. So now I gotta go find a box and do all those things. And it's just more time.
Yeah, I recently started getting into like gaming TVs, or like mini TVs with the VCRs, because they sell for like $80 to $100 easily. And a lot of times when I search my free section on Facebook, people just give them away because they think they're worthless. So
that's awesome.
I probably came across like probably 20 in the last month, and I think I already sold 3 or 4. So I think that's becoming my little niche.
That's awesome.
Easy to, but like you said, if you don't know how to ship it, because it's a pretty bulky item, it's definitely dangerous.
I had a TV break that I shipped out. It was an old vintage like black and white TV. It sold for like $75. I shipped it. I thought I packed it like really, really well, and it broke. I made a video about that actually too, where I was actually able to get the money from FedEx. I filed a claim with FedEx and they sent me a check for the full amount. I didn't lose any money off of it. But again, it was one of those things where it was like, oh man, I thought I did this right. And then as soon as it gets delivered, the guy sends me a picture like, hey, it's all smashed up, which is a bummer. Oh, you got something to do with mouth?
Yeah. I got another. Dave gave me $10 to say you suck, Paul. Anybody in the chat is allowed to say you suck if you give me $10.
Yeah, I take all of my complaints written on $10 or $20 bills.
Yeah. You can't even say you suck with a $5 super chat. It has to be at least $10 super chat. So I appreciate that, Dave. Thank you so much. I thrifted with Dave last Saturday in North Carolina. So he's just mad that I got all the good stuff and he got nothing. He's also like 5 feet tall, so I got to see everything before we pulled up to the sale. And then he only saw it when he got up to the driveway. So that's probably why.
Nice.
I appreciate that, Dave. Though, thank you so much for that $10. It goes true. See, I do it. So, how's the move going, man? You still doing it?
Yeah. So that was the thing, and kind of talk. I know there's some people in the chat that have kind of followed me for a little bit. So I moved. This is a new house. You can see there's still stuff to like get set up. This is an office space that I now have. So I moved. I was in a 3-bedroom house before, moved over to a 4-bedroom house. I now have an office that'll eventually get kind of set up for just business stuff and streaming and making videos. I was debating on painting like one of these walls green to do a green screen wall and different things, and eventually kind of set it up too for my kids because my kids like YouTube and gaming and streaming and stuff like that. So kind of having this be like the media, business room. And then, and again, not to bring down the chat too much. So it went pretty crazy. Like the house is an awesome situation that was insane. And I'm probably going to do a video on it just because there was so many like things that fell into place in such a quick period of time where we listed our house, sold our house, like made the money to get, to put a crazy down payment on this place and do all these different things. Like, I was the only offer on this house. Like it's amazing neighborhood, all this other stuff that went along with it. But the unfortunate thing that happened during that whole time is about a month after we moved into the house, my mom died. So she had cancer for about a year. And so right around like when I stopped doing the videos and started prepping for the move is when she's kind of started to decline a little bit. So that was kind of a thing that kind of kept me like away from kind of documenting through because my plan was like, okay, as soon as we moved in, I can, start making videos and documenting like once I get all my eBay stuff unpacked. And like, I was even still selling things throughout the move. And the, just having to kind of do that with my mom, it was like, it really just kind of took away from everything, which is, which is what it should do. Like that was my thing. I was like, I was just gonna, I was like, okay, luckily again, this was, for me, this is something that, is not, I don't rely on. Like, again, I'm in a fortunate situation where, I don't rely on eBay. I don't rely on.
Well, you work for NASA. So yeah,
exactly.
That's why.
So that, and that kind of all kind of wrapped up about a couple weeks ago with everything. So and then I've been kind of like, okay, we've also been taking care of stuff with the house and getting unpacked and getting everything going. And just kind of finding that time to like, okay, I want to commit to, and that's why I was kind of like dipping in, like, okay, I'm going to start posting on Instagram a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, let me just kind of get myself back in there to where I can like carve out the time, like, again, kind of figure out my new normal with, the new house and the job and everything like that going through and like figuring out how everything's going to fit. And like, what my cadence is going to be, because I think before, you know, and again, I was kind of pumping things out and trying to make a lot of content and do all these things. And it was just taking a little bit, it was taking a little bit too much time than I had, or that I really had to put into it. So that's why I'm kind of like, when I was taking a step back throughout that month, I was kind of planning out, okay, let me really plan out what I want to do. Let me plan out, okay, how many videos I'm going to make a week or a month or whatever it's going to be, and just stick to it, rather than like trying to just pump out, you know, as many things as I can to stay, you know, at the top of the, you know, at the top of the recommended, or all those different things.
You stay relevant the whole time.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But the crazy thing is, like, and again, like, not obviously things have taken a pretty steep decline with like the eBay side and even with the YouTube side, but I even over the last couple of months, I still gained like almost 300 YouTube subscribers.
That's pretty impressive for not posting a video.
Without posting a single video.
Yeah.
You know, I posted a little update with my mom that I took that down because it was you know, it was just
people like Roman over here who posts a video every single day. He's not even at 300 subs yet. So maybe you should learn from you and post less.
Well, it's also, I mean, a lot of it's due to like that video. Like I said, I did have at least one video that kind of took off, that got picked up in the algorithm somehow. Well, not, I mean, it's a how-to video. It's a how-to on shipping, so it worked out pretty well. But yeah, that video, like I said, over the last, I mean, it's averaging about 50 to 70 views a day. Just the one video, and I've gotten probably at least like 150 subs off that over the last like month or two. And it stayed about, you know, about around there.
Beginner's Guide to Shipping on eBay, 3 easy steps.
Yep. That's that one.
That's a pretty good title.
Yeah, it's a good one, and it's ironic because it was one of those things where, like, after I made that video, I was like, I had decided to like not do any other videos like that. I had made a decision like, okay, I don't want to be the how-to guy. Like, I don't want to do the how-to video. Yeah. And then again, that video sat for at 200 views for, I would say, 6 months. And then over the last 3 months, it just like, it must have got picked up in the algorithm because it was like 100 views, literally almost like 50 to 100 views a day. And now it's up at, today it hit 9,000, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because it's like, and I know a lot of us deal with this with like, especially like smaller channels who do end up getting like a video that pops a little bit, is like, it's sitting between two video, like the videos that it's between is like 60 views and like 120 views. And then it's a 9,000, and then it's like a 9,000 view video right in between. Which is cool. Yeah. And it's kind of a nice thing to see. And it definitely helps with like the motivation of like wanting to keep going. Yeah, the video above it is 68 views. The video below it is 140 views because it was like, it was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was the 6th video I made.
Oh, wow.
The 6th video I made. It's 9 months old. And it just started like going crazy over the last like 2-3 months.
I feel like it's titled so well though, and right now everybody is looking for another source of income, and a lot of people go to eBay, and so then when like people like say, oh, okay, I'm on eBay now, how do I ship? And so I'm sure if I search how to ship on eBay, probably everybody's gonna probably somewhere up there, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing is, it's like, again, like I probably changed a little bit on like my thought on it.
You're the 4th one that comes up for me right now.
Yeah,
when I search how to ship on eBay, you're number 4. So that's pretty much
that's the thing that's cool. Like, and that was the thought process when I made the video originally. I was like, hey, this is new for me. Like, I'm learning, and because like, and if you watch the video, which is crazy because it's like, it's had a lot of really great response. It's a very basic video. Like, it's filmed on my cell phone, like all my other videos are, like looking down at a desk showing like shipping materials. But it worked really well, and it was. It has, at least over the last couple months, especially as I thought about like, what am I going to start doing again now that I haven't made videos for the last 3 months? It was one of those things of like, okay, maybe I should kind of like, maybe it's okay to do that a little bit more, not just for like the view, not necessarily just for the views, but like, because it obviously is like helping people. Like, people obviously are like wanting to see stuff like that. Yeah. So like, I know there's a lot of people who do it. But it doesn't necessarily mean that more people can't. Like not really to do it for the
there's
views,
plenty of people that can do it because everyone ships differently too. So it's everyone can do it from their own. They have nose literally, but it's oh, there we go. That's a good question. Is Delaware north or south? That was a debate on my live yesterday.
Delaware is right up top in the north, close to Maine. I actually confused Delaware with Maine like a week and a
close
half
to
ago.
Maine. It's definitely not close to Maine.
Well, I know it's I know it's I loop all those states from
it's just one big state right there, right?
From Virginia north is all one state except for New York.
What about PA is huge too, man? What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, that's almost Midwest. You're
almost Midwest. Okay,
almost Midwest.
According to Art Vandelay, he thinks PA is a beach state. He thinks we have beaches in PA. So
yeah, I mean, if you count like if you have to drive over to Lake Michigan or something.
Yeah. So, but like the new thing now, Dave. If you want your videos to make it, Yakov Benz is doing a roast every single Thursday live on his channel, and he invites channels to get roasted. And so far, every channel he's done it just blew up. So if you want Yakov to do yours next, just let him know.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure it'll give you the bump that you need.
Yeah, I'll get right on it. And it's like, but it has been interesting to kind of like again kind of be in the background and see like, there is like, it's interesting with the YouTube side because there is kind of that like. There is that split of channels that kind of keep moving forward and channels that maybe don't. So it's been nice to see because there was obviously like ones that not necessarily were in the same kind of spot, but we're kind of in that same like trajectory, like yourself. I know like, Katie and a bunch of other people that were kind of like, they were kind of steadily growing and have kept like steadily growing. Everybody at their own pace. But that was kind of like, but it was it was reassuring to me and kind of like reinforcing to me that like, again, I've still gained, 1, 2, 3 subscribers every single day, when not posting a video. Again, even if most of that's off of a single video itself, it still has kept it like encouraging to be like, okay, like now I know like if I come back, it's still gonna like, I can still kind of fall back in and grow on the subscriber side too, on the YouTube side, and same with Instagram too.
I took 2 hiatuses so far in my YouTube career. They were both 6 months long, and it seems like it didn't really affect me at all. So
I know, man. You hit 3K. Was it yesterday or today?
Yeah, today, but I had a good week.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I know you put that video out, which is great. You're almost you're getting close to 5K on the video.
I just wish I would get scammed more now, right? That's what I need to do is just keep getting scammed.
It's that click. It's you gotta have a little bit of that click. You gotta have the drama. You gotta have a little bit of that clickbait in there.
That's my answer now. Anytime someone's like, "Hey, how do you get a bigger challenge?" And just get scammed. That's my answer from now.
Yeah, people like to watch people lose money. That's my other big video is when I lost my AirPods at the Goodwill bins, and again that title's a little bit clickbaity and talking about losing money, but people like to see other people as much as people like to see other people win, they also like to see them fail.
Like I think if there was like a video that says like, "Hey, I found $1 million item at the bins," or "I got scammed," people will click the "I got scammed" first because they're like, I don't care about you and your $1 million item. Let me see you. Let me see how miserable you are.
They'd rather click on you like missing out on $1 million item than you finding the million. Then if those were the two, like I found it or somebody beat me to it, people are gonna want to watch the beat me to it video than if I found it.
For sure. Yeah. So Dave says TikTok is 100% the easiest way to get mass exposure right now.
Yeah, I've thought about TikTok a little bit. Like I finally downloaded TikTok like a month ago.
Oh,
like, but with no plans of like doing anything on it. I probably should. That's the one thing. Like I was never good at like the shorts. I've never been good at like the shorts. And really, again, it kind of comes down to and it's not even like a lack of like wanting to do it. It's more been like a lack of not necessarily time, but like it was always like I was already doing so much just trying to get a video out and trying to get like Instagram posts because I've never been like changing my lifestyle to like document stuff has never really been how I've been. So like it was always like it was hard enough to like, okay, remember to post this Instagram story, remember to like make sure I get this footage to then like have to condense that into something that's also like like marketable or like watchable in like a 30-second to 1 minute like thing. I know I could probably do it if I took the time, but like, you know, again, it's one of those things where it was like, okay, I don't have the extra hour to put out a TikTok kind of thing.
It's also different because, like, say, people like me who do this for a living and try to exceed both on YouTube and anything, we have more time to do that. You have 8 hours a day that you're already occupying something else, so it's a lot harder.
And it's also like, I'm really particular about what I put out. And not saying that other people aren't, or that like, I'm not trying to put anybody down, but it's like, I'm kind of not necessarily a perfectionist, but like, I want to put out a very like high quality product when I do. So it's like, and so I've tried to do, and it's more saying that it's a down thing on me, where like I've tried to like make exciting content in that like short, condensed, like watchable, like very thing there, and it was really hard for me to do. And so it was like, you know, I know I probably eventually will have to take some time and figure out a formula that works well for translating my content into that kind of a form, but it's hard. It's not easy. And so that was the thing for me. It's and especially for me to put out something that like I'm proud of, you know, it was even harder. Because I had a couple like drafts of things, and I was like, nah, and then I just deleted them because I just didn't think that they were like catchy enough. Or like,
I think it's the same the other way around too. Because I've seen a lot of people that are good on TikTok, but they can't make a good YouTube video because they're just so used to making it like in 30 seconds, and then they can't do anything for 10 minutes because that seems like way too big of a time frame for them to fill up. So it's like, hard to succeed in both. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you know that like I'm long-winded. like
no.
So it's like, so that's the thing. It's like I'm a talker. Like I talk a lot. I'm long-winded about a lot of different things. So it's like it was hard for me to kind of condense down and try to make something that would work in like that small format. But it is really cool, and it's like, it is really great to see that, like, you know, especially all the people that are putting out like great content, you know, like that is that short form for people to kind of find, because a lot of people like to ingest their content that way. So it was great to see. And it started with like some of the YouTube, like the shorts on YouTube, where it's like, you'd see like, and even Instagram stories where it was like, hey, like real quick stuff. But for some reason, like I've noticed that like TikTok particularly you have to grab the viewers a lot more than even just like a good Instagram story. But it's been cool.
I know myself, because I spend some time with TikTok. If it's not good in the first 2 seconds, I scroll up.
Yeah.
You have about 2 seconds to get my attention, and then that's it.
I know, Tommy, I was just thinking about like Anfisa with like some of the stuff that like she's been able to put out, and it's, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, if it's not unique, like, you know, building a homestead in Alaska, then it's, you know, and good, because obviously what she's putting out is good too. Like it's got to be really, really good, or like you said, it's got to grab you in the first 2 seconds, or it's got to do a lot of stuff.
There's a video that Dave put out in Cincinnati Picker where he bought a bunch of magic cards at a yard sale for like $20. And I think that one has like almost 4 million views now on TikTok as well. But he did it really well. He's like fast forwarded and he left it till the end to see how much he spent. So like, people got to watch the whole way through. Yeah, I feel like he did that one really well.
Well, and that's the other thing that I've realized too, is like my strong suit with like videos and stuff like that is like I need to spend a little bit more time on the storytelling aspect of it, because like my thing is like I'll have the idea for something like that after the fact. Like I'll be like, oh, I should have done this is the before, like this is like the buy, this is what I do, and then like this is like, and so like I end up doing it like as a summary on like a what sold video versus like, you know, like kind of like planning, like, oh hey, I'm gonna do, like not necessarily planning, but like, oh hey, I just bought this thing, okay, let me pause for a second, and this would be great for like this kind of thing, so I'm gonna condense real quickly what I did here, go to what I did here, and then go to what I did there. So like, but it's awesome to see a lot of people that are having great success with it. Because like I said, and just like John was saying, it's like, you want to see people do well. Like it's really awesome to see people do well. I don't have a Twitter either. Maya. You're not alone.
She goes, MySpace. Her and Tom are just chilling on MySpace right now, having a good time.
I know. Yeah, I don't have a Twitter. I've tried Twitter, and it was that same kind of thing where it's just like I didn't want to spend enough effort like to be like grabby in like those 140 characters or whatever it was, especially when it first started. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't want to like invest the time to try to like be funny or smart enough or whatever it was in that short time to like to have people want to like follow me. And so I just kind of let it go and never did it and never did anything with it.
You're probably one of those guys that had like a part 1, part 2, part 3 to a tweet because you couldn't fit in 140.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, there's people who put like responses right now that like a 9-minute tweet. Send Squishmallows, please. Dave, keep giving me money, man. I appreciate it. This is the guy you want when you get monetized, Dave. You want the Dave in your lives. He's just gonna give you all. This guy got TikTok money now. He gets paid like $1 million a day on TikTok, so he can just spend all he wants. I appreciate it again, Dan, Dave.
So how's that been? So how long have you been monetized now?
Since April.
Nice.
That's April, awesome. Mayish. But like I haven't like my best performing videos until like last week were just my lives because of the super chats. Yeah. Besides that, it was like $2 a day, $3 a day. But since last week, since I appeared on where is he right here? Let me try to find him. Kevin, Commonwealth Flipper.
Oh, nice.
He did an interview of me on his Flipper channel. I got a lot of subs that way. So like the last probably like 4 or 5 days, but I've been averaging like $15 a day on YouTube, which is like well, I was like, wow, this is way better than the $1 a day I used to get.
No, like it's, I mean, even $1 a day is still awesome. Like being able to make like, and again, everybody talks about, you know, there's that side of it where it's like, yeah, you know, you want to do it for fun, you want to do it for, you know, the content and for the quality and all those things. But it is nice to see, you know, a little reward on the back end of like the effort and the time and everything that you're putting into it. Because I know you had gotten the subscribers and you were waiting on the view hours and stuff like that.
The watch hours, yeah.
So that's awesome, man. Congrats. It's like I said, it's the more people that can get there is just the better. It's better for the community.
That's exactly how I feel. That's why I never like understand the whole jealousy. Oh man, this channel's growing and I'm not. No. Just provide better content, do better things, and then you can grow too. That's like the more exposure our community gets, the better it is for all of us.
Yeah, and it's
a trickle down effect.
It's super awesome to see people blow up. Like I remember, like literally a year ago, when we were all like, when I first started, and it was like, you know, you were there, and then like even like Justin, like Flipping Accountant, like he was at like I remember like I remember
like 500 subs.
I remember it was like November or December, and he hit 5. I remember when he hit 500, and it was like, and we were like, you know, messaging back and forth, congrats, like, and so it's awesome to see. Like I've never understood that both outside like of the YouTube side and even in like real life and like career and like with friends and stuff like that. Like I've never understood the concept of like, you know, people being super jealous. Like there's always that feeling of like, oh, that'd be great if I got that too, but the fact that I would want something too doesn't mean that I have to tear somebody else down for them getting it. And it was actually a great, I think it was, I don't know if he stole it from somewhere else, but Gary Vee talks about like there's 2 ways to build the biggest building. Like one way is to just work really hard and build the biggest building. The other way is to tear all the other buildings down so yours is then the biggest. And that is like, and that one always like fails. Like, if you want to be the biggest, then work fucking real hard and like, and work and get there while all the other buildings are growing around you. It's fine. The other way to do that is to just, you know, try to tear everything else down. So there is like, luckily there's not a lot of people out here. I know that, you know, we've interacted with some, you know, over, you know, here and there.
So Kevin's jealous of my height. So
seriously,
I mean, that's allowed, Kevin.
You know,
that one's allowable.
You know, you just got to try a little harder. You know,
come on, Kevin. Just drink a little more milk. Stretch out a little bit.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and then maybe you can. Yeah, see,
that's a great analogy
for you, and I'm still jealous of Paul's height. So
there you go. As you should. Yeah, but like, because I never understood it, because like I'm like, the people that sub to like whatever, like when Justin was blowing up, people that sub to Justin could easily sub to the other person as well. You know, it's not like they have a limited amount of people they could sub to. So I never understood that at all.
Yeah, and it's
Pitbull Pickers. I like that name. Just started my channel and love doing. No matter what happens, I won't stop. Good luck to Al host hunting. Pitbull Pickers. There we go. I like that name. Pitbull Pickers. Yeah. Almost as good as thrifting after work or during work or before work.
There. Yeah, no, it's great to see, and it's great to see the community. Like, and again, just like even just doing stuff like this, like the fact that like you reached out and was like, hey man, like I see you're trying to get a little bit back there, like jump on, like stuff like that. Like it's you know, if we can help build each other up and you know and keep keep the content going, keep getting different people's point of views. And and it's also great to see guys like John hopping on and sharing what they know, and I know he's always been really
and it's like awesome to see how down to earth he is. Dude has a quarter of a million subs. He's like, I'll come on your show, Paul, for sure. I'll give you an hour of my time. Like super awesome.
Yeah, he's always been super generous with his time, which is awesome to see. Like guys at his level that are still wanting to again be humble and like share knowledge and do all those things. Let's see, Tom, do anyone else British resellers?
I have a couple on my news feed, but not really I don't know any big names for sure. I'm guessing, are you a British reseller, Tam and Bell? I think it's the first time I see you guys here. Welcome.
Tam and Bell, Sal, welcome. Yeah, I think.
What time is it? Is it there now? Like 1 a.m., 12 a.m.?
It should be about 8 hour. Well, it's about 8 hours.
As you can tell, every time I message you, I have no clue what time zones work.
I know there's definitely a few in the community. I remember. I think. Actually, speaking of Tommy, I think in a couple of Tommy shows, I've had people kind of, especially because he knows a lot about shipping. Like, I know because the shipping is obviously different over there. There's like
Tommy knows about shipping. No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. But there's but obviously most of the content takes place in the U.S. at least from what we interact with, and it's so a lot of what we talk about is like the U.S. post office and different things like that, because that doesn't exist in those other countries. So I definitely know that there's a good amount of people who do resell. I think there was a couple from London that I remember, but I don't remember their names off the top of my head, which I feel bad about.
Yeah, Tommy mentions Zahir. I'm sub to Zahir. I see him sometimes on Tommy shows, and that's what I got. And it's 11:47. Okay, so I guess it's not crazy late. And Tam and Bell is very Scottish. Cool, awesome.
Very Scottish.
Yeah, I had a guy on my channel a couple months ago from Canada, and he told me how their shipping was completely different than ours. And I always like to complain about how our shipping sucks, but then you hear about Canadian shipping, and I'm like, okay, I'll
Canadian shipping is rough. I know some of the other countries are pretty simple with it, as long as you're shipping within your country.
My favorite guy said for Canada, is if you're parcel, he said, because they use the word parcel. Right? He said if your parcel is bigger than the slot that fits a letter in, it's $15 almost automatically. Oh, so anytime you ship a DVD or something in, it's $15. Especially if you want to add tracking to it. But if you don't add tracking, it's a lot cheaper or something. But then you risk the whole thing of tracking. So I was like, ooh. Yeah. Tommy says shipping is extremely cheap, I guess, in UK or over there.
Yeah. I know if you're shipping within the UK or within other places, it is for sure. I don't know about their international shipping. I'm sure they have a different system for it too.
Yeah, but that's why it's also fun to watch resellers from other countries. It's completely different. Just like it is here, reselling for you is way different than it is for me in Philly. It's way different for you than it is from somebody in the South or whatever in Kentucky. Yeah, and it's completely different if somebody lives in Scotland.
No, it's there's such, it's interesting too, the regionality of reselling, especially here in the US, not just for what people buy or what people end up selling, but also again, pricing is way different. I know that there's people in LA where it's I can only imagine how they make ends meet with doing stuff, trying to buy things in LA or New York or different places, and then you get you get places like the South and the Carolinas. And I know there's bin stores on every corner, or that's what I've been led to believe by Dante and Josh.
I've been there for like a couple of days, and it's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
there's a lot of bin stores. but then I went to a couple, and I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to enjoy it. Oh, it wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. With just like I don't like having to like feel like I need to elbow somebody to get a plush.
But what if it's a $20 plush? Dude?
I know. I actually Cajun will be walking through taking out kneecaps to get to the plushie bin.
It's something Chris would do. That's for sure. Something he would definitely do. Yeah, Tony, that's what he said. Like a DVD is like $12 to ship because it doesn't fit in the slot. So the minimum is $12. Yeah. I was like, how do you make it as a reseller? Because you're going to be selling a DVD for $2 and going to charge $12 shipping on that thing. that's insane. Yeah. So it has to fit in the envelope slot. Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. All right, so we have a couple minutes left with you.
Yeah.
Do you have an approximate timeline day where you think you're going to start posting like a video, or that's
so I think really what I kind of want to do, I think next week is definitely kind of, I want to focus a little bit of time on getting something filmed and getting something out. I had even like, again, it was one of those things where it's like you got so much going on, and it's like I had even planned to be like, okay, let me get a video ready to like drop today or something like that. Like that would have been like the right like thing to do, or the right thing to do as far as like the marketing standpoint of it, to be like, I got a video coming out in 20 minutes, like like one of those things to wrap this up.
That would have been smart. Like as soon as we're down here, come on my channel, I got a video dropping.
that would have been the smart thing to do.
And you have to get scammed too. That's another thing.
And to get I got scammed on my way to Philly Flippers live, video dropping immediately after. I've been editing the video the whole time we've been talking. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no. So it's really I definitely want to do. I have a couple of videos that I really want to do. I want to do a video talking about the house. I want to do a video talking about like the eBay stuff. But it's really just kind of like I need to get back and start. So like I haven't even since I haven't been sourcing at all. So I got to kind of get a few of those things lined up first. I do also want to, and I may do this Monday night. I don't know if anybody's. I think somebody. I haven't even kept up with YouTube very much. I don't know if anybody's using the time slot that I was using before for the after Joey and Drew.
No. I told them I would kill them if they did. So
yeah. So I did still want to do a live, like going through and just kind of like reposting, relisting everything, because I have. Let me pull it up right now. I have. So I have like 40 items or so. Let's see. So I have 46 items listed. I've had 8 items sell in the last 90 days. Like I said, yeah, like, and I was trending.
That's rough.
I know. And I was trending at like 75, like kind of there. And I'm down to like 223 on my 90-day total. So it is great. And again, that's with literally no new postings. Not even like I've sent off, like the only thing I've done on my eBay app is I've sent offers as they've come up. And I've sold a handful of things over the last 3 months that I've been able to ship out and sell. So I definitely want to get in there. And I need to relist. Everything needs to be relisted. I needed, double check some of the prices, but mainly just get back to like listing new items too. Because like, that's really what keeps you going. Like, I know everybody's kind of talked about it. There is something in the eBay app or the eBay formulas for consistency.
Yeah.
Because like the items that I've had, like nothing's different about what I'm selling. So like, I know those 40 items that I have are selling, I bought them because there's probably a handful of items that in there that I eventually need to just let go of. But there's a good, 75% of those that are like high selling items. So it's very clear that there's, obviously something in there that's, hey, this person's not active. They're not posting, we're just, we're not going to keep pushing these items out there. So I got to I do actually have a few things that I have a very small death pile of, I think like 10 items that I need to get through. So I'm work on posting all those. But I'm gonna do a live, just kind of going through, and I'm gonna do like an on-screen like of my eBay and going through and doing and just kind of talking.
That'd be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, as I'm reading,
and we can like follow along with you how long it takes for it to get back to how it was before you left, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I think I was peaking right around, and I have to go back at my like old Instagram posts or screenshots. I think I was peaking. I think my peak was around 2,500 in the 90-day total. Let me double check real quick. Like it was not
so like 10x what you have now.
Exactly. So yeah, wow. I mean, again, those aren't crazy numbers, but it was like, I think, So the last one I posted, the last screenshot I posted of a 90-day total before this was like 2,300, and that was with 50 listings, 50 solds. I did like a screenshot there. So that was I was averaging around, the same amount of close to the same amount of listings that I have now, but like, 4 times the amount of solds. So yeah, just kind of going through and seeing how, and again, that was kind of what I was thinking about, of like seeing how like long it takes to kind of reset. Because that took me a couple months to get to, how long is it going to take me to get back to there now that I've reset? Like when I relist all these items, like what's going on there? How is it going to, how is everything going to flow? So like, I think probably this weekend, I'm really going to kind of sit down and make a plan of like, okay, this is my goal of like, on this day, I'm going to get, I'm going to do these things. I got to get my things relisted. I got a couple new items that I really just kind of got. I don't know. I probably won't do them all every day, or I probably won't do them all at once. I'll probably do like 1 or 2 a day. So that way, like the app sees like, hey, I'm now back like posting daily kind of thing, rather than like throwing 10 items on there. Regular job hours. So I work in the healthcare industry. I'm in healthcare administration. So I mostly do about 9 hours a day. I am in an office. I'm not at home. I'm on site.
How far is the commute now to the house?
It's about 25 minutes. Not too bad. Which is in Vegas is like
Vegas. That's like Vegas. That's like on the other side of the city, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, that's like cross town. Yeah, because I live in Henderson, which is on like the southern part of Vegas, and I work in North Las Vegas area. So like I'm working about.
He is a stripper, Misha. Okay.
Exactly.
9 hours for shipping is a long time, man. That's
a lot of time on your feet, man. Those heels kill after about 5 hours. Those heels are killer. But yeah, I usually work about 50 hours a week in my day job. So just spending some time on there. So that's why like I really my goal, like if I could I'd be really happy if I can get to the point where I can net about $1,000. If I can net $1,000 a month through my reselling, I don't think I really, just with the amount of time that I've invested, I think I can get to that point. But it's even hard to scale to that level just with the amount of time. Like if I put in maybe like 5-6 hours a week into my reselling, so it's hard to scale it. Which is okay though, because it's one of those things where that's like, and that took me a little bit of time at the beginning to be like, okay, well, I just kind of understand and realize like I'm never going to have those numbers. I'm never going to have those metrics, and I don't really want it, at least at this time in my life. Maybe that changes in a few years, and that's why it's nice. It's nice to have multiple revenue streams, and I would recommend that to everybody, even if you are trying to do reselling as your career. Have other areas that are making you money.
That's kind of where YouTube comes in. That's where TikTok comes in for Dave and other people. Yeah. That's where merch comes in for some people. That's why it's very important to have all of these things for sure.
Yeah, have multiple things because it's important to get to get there. But
unless you get amazing bulk buys, or especially if you just go on your lunch hours, it's really hard to build up the inventory system.
But it is doable. I mean, even like I said, I know we all talked like I know when Tim posted the other day, like Tim is a one-man show and he's pulling 90,000.
He just photoshops that, you know that, right?
I know. It's all just Photoshop.
He adds a 0 at the end of it. It's only 9.
It's all fake. And I don't know what his exact profit margin is, but you can do it. Like you can make a decent living if you have the time to commit to it. So you don't necessarily have to do you don't have to take anybody's course. You don't have to, get the inside info on.
I was about to start selling a course, Dave. Come on, why'd you guys tell him that?
I'm throwing you off there. So yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it, but even just having something that is there, as long as it's something that you enjoy, is really a great way to do it. Let's see. My girl is on you.
So I'm learning that chips are crisps and fries are chips.
Yeah.
It's
the big thing. So I'll leave you with my favorite fact about Scottish and the way they talk.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Well, the one and correct me if I'm wrong on this, Tam and Bell, but there's certain things one of the big thing with the Scottish accent is they don't pronounce a lot of T's. They leave T's out of it. So Scottish, when we would say Scottish, they say Scottish.
That's right. Did you practice that quite a bit?
It's a unique part. They make it so when we say butter, they say butter.
So interesting.
So there's little things about accents. I in a different life I was an actor and could do some accents. That's my favorite. That's the extent.
What you sound is like what Sean Connery sounds like on SNL. That's what I just. That's what I just
The extent of my Scottish accent is knowing that you don't pronounce some of the T's.
There you go. That's more than I know. So guys, if you want some cool lives with some maybe Scottish accents, Dave's your guy. See, Dave and Val, that's correct. There you go, Dave.
That's the trick. Take out your T's. It's got not like at the beginning of the word like tame. You don't say just am, but in the middle of the word there. But yeah, man. No, thanks so much for inviting me on, having me on. Like I said, I'll be back to it here pretty soon. But I really appreciate.
We're excited to have you back for sure. Because
Yeah.
I remember because I was like, man, he hasn't been on in a month, 2 months. I thought I wasn't accepting you for a second, but nope, still subbed. Just he hasn't posted anything for sure.
Exactly.
So guys, make sure you guys are subbed to Dave down below. He said it's gonna be producing 3 videos every single day starting next week. So definitely. Oh wow, you were 2 away from 800. I didn't even realize that. That's awesome.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Thank you everybody who jumped on and subbed during the live again. This is the amazing thing about the reseller community is the support. So again, Paul, I appreciate your support, your friendship, everything, and congrats to everything that you've got going on and all the stuff and how everything is you doing. I look forward to your weekly scam video. Pumping out the 10K scam videos every week to keep that going. So,
and just an announcement. I think I hinted at it earlier, guys, but this is gonna be my last Live at 5 for this year. I'm going. Yeah, this is the last one I'm doing because
I'm on the season finale.
Yeah, This is like the cliffhanger. Right? They're like, what's gonna happen next?
Season finale.
Yeah, and so we're gonna start back again in January, but they're not gonna be on Saturdays anymore. Saturdays were just super rough for me, super rough for almost anybody to do. The only reason I did Saturdays is because there was no other show on at that time. But now I feel like I have a big enough audience that can do it during a weekday when somebody else is on it, and I feel like people will still come and watch. So thank you guys for just bearing with me for season 1. I had no clue when I started the show back in March that I'll have John on in the finale. It's just crazy to do that for sure. So I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you to John. Thank you for Dave. I'll see you guys around. Make sure you guys are subbed to Dave. Let's get him to 1 million subs before the night's over, right? That's the goal.
Always.
All right, guys. Have a good one. I don't think Tommy's on tonight, but someone else gonna be on later. Appreciate you guys. Peace out.